One man's misfortune is another man's fortune, and that is how life is, right? When something goes bad for somebody, it favors another person. That is somehow it's always connected, right? Somebody's misfortune is somebody's blessing. Now you can see that for Gavi, it was Femi Lopez. Femi Lopez had to pick up an injury for Gavi to go to the World Cup. Now look at the Argentina squad, right? One of their defenders has picked up an injury. Now Marco Senesi, who was not called up for the World Cup, could potentially, join them for the World Cup. And I was very, very surprised when I didn't see Marco Senesi in the lineup, in the call-up for the Argentina squad, going to the World Cup, knowing fully well that Argentina does not really have too many wonderful defenders right now. And one of the top defenders in the Premier League, Marco Senesi, was not called up. But now, due to the injury of the Marseille defender, right, now Marco Senesi has an opportunity to be called up to come and play in the World Cup. Another instance now is Wesley, right, one of the defenders for Brazil. He picked up an injury yesterday, and now they have called up Ederson, Manchester United new signing, to come and replace him. So one man's misfortune, another man's fortune, right? That's how life is. It's very, very sad, but that's how life is, right? When something does not favor you, sometimes that way no favor you, go favor another person. Anyways, I wish all the players well in this World Cup. I don't like the fact that we are already hearing about injuries before the World Cup even starts. That's to tell you that this World Cup might be filled with too many injuries. It might be filled with too many, players picking up knocks here and there. There are a lot of players going into this World Cup have feet. There are a lot of players that, this season they were not really, really fully fit for their club, and they are going into this World Cup and they are not, and they might just, in the first match pick up an injury. God forbid, but it might happen. If we begin to lose players so early in the group stage, the World Cup no go sweet. So I'm praying that the injuries, will not be too much in this World Cup.